Another day, another video. We are back and we are watching Peaky Blinders episode 2 season 3. How exciting was episode 1? Very different to what I expected coming into this season. Obviously we ended season 2 with Tommy nearly dying, mate, and only somebody from Churchill's helping save the day, but being pretty much forceful on Tommy that Churchill will be coming knocking and he will be calling for Tommy to complete a job for him, and that job seems to be working with the Russians transporting guns. Now this is very interesting because we started 2 years in the future and it was Tommy and Grace's wedding. They have a little boy together, they got married, it was just all celebrations until a Russian turned up at the wedding kind of ceremony events, the days. They just kind of went on like it was nothing and like he was part of the team and he was invited. He tried making a move on Polly, he was speaking to her, he's trying to ask for business. Then they confronted him, they asked him for a code word, you know, he said Constantine. Then they went to go meet another Russian female who had $10,000, which they was trying to obviously take off her as part of obviously this deal with Churchill that I perceived anyway. This is what was going down. Now, Tommy ended up telling her that that Russian that was at the party got the word wrong, mate. They was told a certain word by Churchill and this guy got it wrong. They told him not to deter from the plan. They had to just go with what is being said. She asked him what the code word was supposed to be. Tommy was like, no chance, mate. I'm not telling you what it's supposed to be. You're telling me or you're getting out of here. They went and took the 10k. She got in the car. She got took away. They went back to the party. While the obviously celebrations was going on, while the music was loud, Arthur's got after him and Arthur shot and killed him, and then he took his body outside and burned him. So very, very interesting. I don't know whether it's going to be the smart idea from a logical point of view. A Russian's turned up on your wedding day giving wrong and false information and you're going to have to take him out, and I kind of get what they've done there, but it's interesting to see anyway. So I'm excited to obviously see what Grace has to play this season. She's not got the best relationship with Polly. She's kind of, her and Tommy wasn't rubbing the right way pretty much last episode, and obviously they got a little kid running around now. I'd love to see obviously what's happening with the other storylines from last season with obviously Alpha and obviously Sabina, and we see Tommy and the Shelby company have got so much money now. The safe that they stood in at the very end of the episode, you know, they made the 10,000, which is about this big, look so small compared to this big massive unit that they got full of cash, which I'm thinking somebody's going to break in and rob, to be honest. So it's going to be interesting. Can't wait to find out more. Hopefully guys enjoyed today's episode. If you do, please smash the like, really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into episode 2 of season 3 of Peaky Blinders.
Your brothers came to my house, said the Peaky Blinders had business with me.
You're not afraid of me?
What is it you want from a simple working man?
Poor Mr. Nutley drank too much. He went for a piss on the train tracks. They found his body instantly broken into bits.
I know what you do. Tell me what you want.
Let's just forget the chit chat. Let's get to the point.
A lot's complete warehouse. Space 4, 5 and 6.
It's just old stock in storage.
Give me the keys. For your trouble.
Give it to your charity.
Oh, it's tanks. They said something about tanks, didn't they? Sorry, last episode.
So will it be just boys in your charitable institution, or girls as well?
What are your people? You said they'd be here by 5.
Perhaps you know them as the Economic League. Yes, it'll be fun to bring such men to a gypsy scrapyard. Since the election, the government has decided that we are the enemy. Mr. Shelby, you will learn that these men are far too grand for the clock to govern them. You'll get used to meeting in the small hours of the morning. You'll meet Mr. Patrick Jarvis, MP, and probably want to become a trustee. It's just his thing to drop by in the evenings after a few drinks. If I want to play the squire in your place of false charity, then I will. Ambition for respectability doesn't make you a saint. Perhaps Admiral Hall's been held up at the House of Lords. Or perhaps they've decided they don't care for doing business with gypsies in scrap metal yards. This is someone you'll meet today.
I have meetings today.
You have one meeting. This one.
But he was trying to impress him then with the names, mate. The House of Lords and what did he say? The House of Commons or something. He was trying to obviously like throw the big names out to say that the guys that I know are big in the government. They're high up. I mean, impressing you. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're too busy to come down here to a little scrapyard in Birmingham. But, you know, he's just said, well, dropped him a message and said, well, I've got meetings today. Nah, mate, you got one meeting at the Ritz in London. Get down there.
I have a list of today's social engagements, if you'd like to hear them.
Oh, are we in a rush today?
I have duties at the main house, sir. Luncheon at the Ritz with Duke Mikhail Mikhailovich.
Muita coisa nuda.
Cancelled.
I miss out on the bar and meets the beauty.
Cancelled.
However, in the absence of the Duke, the Prince and the Lady, two have cancelled. You do have one business appointment. Mr. Thomas Shelby, sir.
You're after a meeting out.
I was going to say...
Yeah, the fine aroma of shit.
Where is Thomas? He got called away. He said he'd be here.
Yeah, he's busy.
I just told you he got called away. The little Venice restaurant in 4th Street was burnt down.
Nah, I couldn't have been us. Well, was at a wedding.
You burnt it down. Please tell Tommy that we pay him whatever he asked us to pay. We stay out of the city and off the tracks. You tell him from me that my son will walk with any woman in this city. And if he wishes, he will walk with the woman he loves.
It'd be hard for your son to walk anywhere with a bullet in each knee.
Too much.
Do you reckon Arthur is thinking that's too much as well?
Oh, fuck, he's a bit strong.
We're not scared of fucking wops. All right, John.
Do you know what, right? Reading that combo there, they just provoked him, you know? There's an angry bear and he had a stick and he was just poking him, making him worse for no reason. You know, the guy didn't really say anything that bad. He was like, look, mate, you know, whatever the Emperor, so he's kind of respecting Tommy as well. Whatever the Emperor Tommy's asked, we've done. But the one condition is, if my son wants to love someone, he's going to love whoever he wants. And I think that is pretty interesting, to be honest. You know, I mean, I don't think he's asking for much there. Arthur didn't really say anything. Yeah, I said the tea was cold, and he kind of threw it on the floor in front of them. But not like John. John was definitely poking the bear. It was unnecessary, and now he could have started something that didn't need to happen. Do you know what I mean? It was just like a random throwaway comment that didn't have to be there that can cause so much shit now. Library and him shouting.
Need to borrow a book about the Russian Revolution.
Well, this is a list of the bastards who ran away, and this is written from the point of view of the people's struggle. There was a Russian at your wedding.
The social occasions to add a bit of class.
Tommy, when Arthur took the Russian away, he had his killing pistol under his jacket, and then Johnny lit a fire in the woods.
You want all the details because you're bored, Ada.
Yo, I'll say it every episode, B, but until she comes part of this rocking family business, you know, I'll be a little bit disappointed. I thought she was going to pop off, like, when Freddie died, like, but, you know, she's tried to stay away from it, but at one of the seasons, she's going to be heavily involved.
We were on Kimpton yesterday, or not?
Danny Lee got drunk. Instead of injecting the horses with cocaine, he decided to share it with his cousins. It's your brother-in-law. Tell Esme to speak to him about it. Vincente Trangetta's son.
He's no bigger than 2 pence worth of change.
Well, he heard you threatened him directly to shoot him in the knees, and now he's going around Nietzsche's telling everybody he's going to kill you. Don't need to be getting involved in all these little piss pots.
What does Arthur say?
If he said it, there'd be a fight. Apologise.
Fucking said what?
We own the city. We don't need to rub everybody's noses in it.
Tommy say.
Tommy's busy. He left me in charge.
What would you say?
Compromise. I've asked Lizzie to do it for you.
You know what all this is? This is Arthur's fucking missus. Turn the other fucking cheek. Be handing out Bibles in the fucking bullring with her cousins.
Yo, do you know what? I'm not on John's side with this one. I have no idea, like, why he's so reluctant to apologise. Like, they're running everybody, like literally, you're at the top of the empire and everybody's paying up. Everybody's there as a pecking order. You don't need to go around and poke everybody. Little fire starts here, little fire starts there. These two come together, there's one big fire. Do you know what I mean? Somebody else sees it spreading, I'll jump in. Soon you've just got 6, 7 people here ready to go up to the top of the chain. Do you know what I mean? When before everybody was level and okay. So I think that John should apologise.
I believe you have a reservation for a private room in the name of Mr. Romanov.
You work for Mr. Romanov? We shall have to ask for payment in advance. We've been asked to be understanding of our Russian friends by His Majesty, but it has been some time now. And may I ask your name, sir?
Shelby. Thomas Shelby, and in the future I'll be down here quite a bit.
Myself, my wife, and my niece travel by train. then coach, then on foot to the Villa Aitador in Crimea. On that journey, I lost a toe. And then, of course, I thank God and your king for saving us.
Who is this guy?
God or the king?
Sometimes both, Mr. Shelby. Russian women, they know how to hold it. And most important, they know exactly when to let it go. Cock, I mean. So you trust your family.
Let's talk about trust then. You were not a direct relation to the Romanovs. You were Georgian. But you were in some debt. Both here and other places, I imagine. See, I've been given 10, but I've been promised 40. Already I've had to have a man killed.
It was like he was in charge of the meeting, and then now Tommy is, kind of.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Shelby. Before we boarded the ship, my niece sewed 16 diamonds into her velvet dress. It's already for the killing of the spy and the down payment on future services.
Very well. I shall have my people check its veracity.
Let me tell you, we will never be soft and weak again.
Yeah, do you know what, right? He might be a decent one to get into business with, actually. Somebody who's been suffering and now he wants to get to the top. Kind of like Tommy, do you know what I mean? They never want to be down in the bottom again. Do you know what actually I liked about that? Yeah, the guy said that. He's putting up a he's kind of putting up a front where everyone thinks he's weak. Putting up a front where everyone thinks he's got no money. When the guy's got loads, really. He's got loads of diamonds, loads of sapphires that they brought into it. Do you know what I mean? And they're giving off a false perception, so to speak. Like that place there, the Ritz thought that he couldn't afford any of it. The guy's rocking around with big, chunky, fat diamond and rubies. So, like, you know what? It's decent. You know, it's kind of, the perception that he's giving off is interesting. Look at him again. Ruthless season, he's having John.
Stay away from Lizzie!
Oh, he's cutting him. Who was that?
Gonna introduce me, Michael?
Was that the female from last episode?
My father likes cars. Nice to meet you.
That was funny, that. Oh, look, he's got a proper Michael on the door.
John, you caught Angel Changretta. No, Arthur told you to apologise.
And I didn't want to start a war over something John said without meaning it.
So should he apologise in Italian? Or in English? If you apologise once, you do it again and again and again, like taking bricks out of the wall of your fucking house. Now we go on the offensive. We take 2 of the Changretta pubs. We take them tonight.
Why?
Why? Because we fucking can! Because we fucking can! And if we can, we do! Remember, these are the bastards that wanted Danny Whizbang dead.
Need to get to Hockley and then home. It's been a long day.
Oh, do you know what, mate? That was interesting. I knew it, mate. As he come to stand there, yeah, I said you might praise him. I said it. Hopefully you heard it, because it definitely come out of my mouth. It was low, but I was thinking, oh, he might praise him here. And then he has done. And he countered the way I said it. I said, start a little fight. Like, basically, he said, yeah, we got the foot on the necks. And the way I said it before, yeah, you got the foot on the necks and everybody's running. Everybody's listening. So, like, you don't want to spark a fire here and here and here because everyone will come and they'll come upstream. But he countered it. He said, mate, do you know, if we go and apologise once, they'll want it again. And they'll want it again. And instead of, like, the house being strong, each brick's coming out, it starts crumbling. He countered it very well. And, like, after his speech and hearing it, you can understand his mindset and where it's coming from. And it makes total sense. Like, me, when I said it before, it made total sense to me to apologise because you're already at the top and you don't want people coming after you. He countered it, mate. We're at the top and we've got our feet stamping on them. And if we take that foot off the pedal, they're going to come back up. See, he used his analogy of forcing it on them instead of, like, my analogy of keeping the peace. So I liked it. Do you know what I mean? He done a very good counter.
You make sure the coppers stay away. Don't use the fucking phones. All right? There's someone listening.
Все нужно напечатать, подписать и отправить с первой почты завтра утром. И это мистеру Шелби. Он набрался наглости проверить наши сапфиры, а нам нужно доказательство, что он обладает необходимыми нам материалами.
That is actually interesting. They said that they need to check that Mr. Shelby Tommy can provide them with what they need.
Guess?
Guess what?
He said yes. The leader of the Birmingham City Council is going to attend the dinner. I keep having to change the catering. And my writing hand is almost falling off.
What are you writing for? I bought you a typewriter.
You don't write letters of a social occasion on a typewriter. You're not listening to me.
Yes, I am.
He's not, mate. He's not
I
bothered.
think I'm becoming obsessed. Should I ask you how your day was like a good work?
Well, depends on how you measure success. I measure it in sapphires. Close your eyes.
Eyes on that.
All right, you can open them.
Where the hell did you get that?
There's no way you can walk around with that on.
Mirror to the foundation, didn't it?
Did you wind the clock, Arthur? We should go to bed.
I need to go out. Some business I need to do.
But you only just got in.
Won't be long.
It's 10 o'clock. Working in the dark is for the devil. We said.
It's just paperwork.
She obviously knows it's not.
We're going to the garrison.
I'm going home, John.
Go fuck yourself, Arthur. Yeah, fuck off.
Bit harsh that, John. He come and done the job and finished. What, is that one of the guys at the attack?
Prenderà il treno da Napoli a Parigi.
E potrà essere qui domenica, così.
They're bringing someone over.
You got a house, John?
Full of kids.
Well, you got a maid to look after the kids. As mate, I need you to leave now. Go out the back door and lock it after you. Scotland Yard! Let her fucking go! She's fucking pregnant! Leave it alone! The fuck is happening, Tom?
Oh, it's this guy. Doberman.
Talking to you, Mr. Shelby. So the Oddfellows want you to know that any deviation from your instructions will have consequences. You have the local police in your pocket. We have Scotland Yard. Visit your sister again and she will die crossing the road.
Mike! My new size. If you wanted me dead, I'll be dead, wouldn't I?
But when you go home today, Mr. Shelby, be sure to check under your little boy's pillow.
Crematorium. Whoa. Deep for that, innit?
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
See, in those situations, Tommy must not even know if he's not scared of them himself. Yeah, they can get to his family, and that is kind of scary. But he must know that these guys are way powerful than him. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they may run like the little crime syndicates around like London and Birmingham and like Lancaster and all that. Do you know what I mean? Like diversifying around the country. But Scotland Yard, you know, Parliament, Churchill, Orders of the King, they're way above Tommy's grade. Do you know what I mean? Their ranks are like far, far superior. And like whether Tommy's got control of the local police, they've got control of higher people in higher places. So again, you know, it's interesting. I want to know what the full-on connection is with the Russians and what Churchill wants to get out of it the most.
You're not one of those impressionists, are you?
They're all terribly political, aren't they?
Well, I thought I might wear this. Oh, God, it's too much. I'll try something more simple.
No.
She looks mad in that. Don't usually see her dressed like that.
Incompetent.
That's a great
I
answer.
wanted to hang in the office, so I wanted to look formal.
It's not formal. It's beautiful.
So when should we start?
I've already started.
Come to my studio this evening.
I'm busy this evening.
Polly, invite him.
No, Ada, this is a professional transaction.
Invite me to what?
Shelby Foundation dinner. Polly's going alone. You're invited.
Ada.
This is the leader of the Birmingham City Council.
Hello, Tommy.
Right, Danny.
How's business?
All right, holding up. How are you?
You know each other?
He helps me get my products to the car makers. Congratulations, Mrs. Shelby, on your wedding.
Thank you.
Now the party's really started.
Who are they?
They are part of an organisation called the Economic League.
Is that Neil's dad as well from the In-Betweeners?
The socialists got into Downing Street. We are all being followed. We have to meet in places where we'd meet anyway.
The chains are suitable for snow or wet ground. They're already stored on the vehicles. There's a batch of weapons set aside at the BSA, which is bound for the Turkish army.
The Russians want to inspect the vehicles. The Duke has sent his niece. Murray will take her to the factory and show her.
Priest with an empty glass. Let's get back to the party.
I will remember everything. I forget nothing.
She was asking about my sapphire. I thought I'd recognized it. She said it was Russian. My husband has business in Russia. Perhaps you know about it, Tatiana.
Well, tonight's not a night for business, eh?
Is that why you're in the concert hall for 10 minutes?
I think people are ready for dinner now, Grace.
Diana, you and I will speak later.
I would like that.
Going to the factory tomorrow was a mistake.
Oh, my uncle ordered me to seduce you to give us an advantage. But with a beautiful wife like that, it will be difficult, no?
Tomorrow was a mistake.
Does your wife know that the sapphire she's wearing has been cursed by a gypsy?
What do you mean, cursed by a
What did
gypsy?
you say?
Nothing on earth would make me wear it.
You need to take this off.
Why? Because you think you look better on her?
Grace, look at me. Fuck these people.
Tommy, you didn't even take it off. Whoa. She's been... I seen red on her left... Yeah. Fucking hell. Oh, Arthur's going over and hitting him as well. Oh shit, mate. What an ending to that episode. Like, I didn't expect it. Now, do you know what, right? They got some balls, haven't they, the Russians? Like, they actually have. Like, to me, yeah, that Duchess is just like, if I was to digest after listening and watching what's just happened, yeah, the Duchess had just walked up to Tom and said, mate, that's a Russian sapphire. I would not be wearing that if I was you. It's been cursed. You know, nothing in the world would make me wear that. And then 2 seconds later, dead. And it's like, if I am reading that, I'm reading that as in that was planted. Well, to be honest, right, that guy would have not known that Tommy would get that and put it into a necklace and put it on her. But I do think that was kind of maybe what they was hoping. I don't know, like... I'm thinking the Russians have taken Grace out, and I actually do think she's going to die, to be honest. But this is nothing in terms of, like, me hating on Grace, but, like, I don't know. Like, to me, ever since, well, the first season, she played a big factor. Ever since then, she's just been a linger. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I actually do think. I think, like, for Tommy's character, she's a linger for him, like, a distraction, so to speak. And, like... I think it's interesting that if she does die, yeah, that we actually chose to bring Grace back, say she's pregnant, give Tommy a kid, bring her into 2 episodes, and then she gets shot. And then where's May gone? She's not even been addressed. I don't even know what's happened. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, last time we seen them, they was potentially in a relationship, and I was like, which one's he got to pick? And now we picked her, kid, future, boom, shot, dead. Now, again, very interesting. Now, this, you know, the Russians... They want the tanks, don't they? They want the weapons, they want the tanks, they want to get them on to the trains. And the way Tommy says he's going to do it is he's going to cause, they say he's going to cause a strike. He's going to put 2 men in different locations, and that is how they're going to get, you know, the trains moving. I think that's what I read from it. I might be a little bit off there. I think last episode I thought he was transporting guns. This episode, it sounds like they're doing some sort of work with tanks and weapons. So... I'm still trying to get my head around what it is that Churchill's doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I understand that there's this and that, and there's Russians and there's that, and there's deals here. But, like, what is the end goal? What they're trying to master? But in terms of the story and the interestingness and the guessing and, you know, the action, it has been really, really good. Okay, so that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Grace... Is she dead? Is she alive? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that she might be dead. Madness that she's just been attacked at her own charity event where she invited bare high-profile people as well. You know what I mean? It was like the head of the Birmingham Council was there. We had MPs there. You know, like rich people, duchesses. Like, it was crazy. And she's obviously been attacked in public and shot. And it looks like she's possibly died. Now, it's really interesting that in this episode, John, yeah... kind of went on a wild one. So the Italians who come over, they were speaking to them. John kind of threatened them. You know, he said, yeah, mate, you know, we did. You know, we got told in the episode 1 that obviously that guy's son, the Italian guy's son, was kind of in a relationship with the receptionist. And then obviously they've set fire to his shop, I think they said it was. And obviously it stopped him from going to the wedding. Then they've come and they've said this and that. And he said they respect the chain of command. They respect Tommy, you know, the big man. And they do as he says. But... the one condition is his son is allowed to love whoever he wants. If he wants to marry somebody, he wants to fall in love, then everybody's open. Then, obviously, John's turned around and said, look, mate, you know, if he comes anywhere near us, mate, we're going to put a cap in both his knees. And they've not took it well. They smashed up a chair, they spat on the floor, they've gone away. Now, obviously, Arthur, changed man, new, you know, he's got a new girlfriend. She's kind of, it looks like she's into God and stuff, and she's trying to, you know, steer him in a different direction. Don't work in the dark, work in the light. Do you know what I mean? That is her thing that she's saying. We seen her sat in the church yesterday. He's gone and told him to apologise. He's fuming. He's not happy about that. Even Polly said that as well. Now, he's gone and he's confronted him and he's beat him up and he beat his mate up and he slit his face, it looked like, with his cap. And then obviously Tommy's come and instead of like rattling him and going mad at him, he actually took his side and said, we are the Peaky Blinders and what we've got to do is got to double down now. Do you know what I mean? We can't go like cap in hand and say, sorry. No, mate. He's decided to do this. He decided to threaten him. Then he stood his ground and he attacked him. And what are we going to do? We're going to run with our tail between our legs now and say, sorry? No, I don't think so, mate. We're going to double down. We're going to take that pub, we're going to take that pub, and we're going to show that we're in charge. That's obviously a different approach than what I was saying. Definitely a different approach to what Arthur and Polly was thinking as well. And then obviously they've gone after it and they've successfully done it. Now, it's interesting because they seem to have called somebody in now. They said that he's like making his way over. And I think that they said that he's going to be on Sunday. Now, I don't know if that episode, like, this is where it's interesting because it could be, yeah, the Russians, or it could be the Italians that have just shot Grace. I'm not too sure because the guy who come in to paint, you know, he was coming in to do a painting, wasn't he, of Paula? And I'm sure she said, maybe come to my office on Sunday or something and we could do it. You know, she's busy tonight. And then obviously, like I said, she's gone to this party. But that guy is saying all the right compliments. He was saying she looks stunning. You know, everything deserves to be on her. He'll do it for free. You know, she's ravishing. She's beautiful and all that, mate. She's blushing. She's loving it. Ada as well sat there. She's smiling. So again, very, very interesting. Now, obviously, Tommy's been kind of like arrested, captured by obviously Scotland Yard. Obviously, father, he's in there, he's telling him stuff. He's saying, like, we're higher up than you. We've got people in Parliament, people up in the government. You know, you may have the local police, but we're in control, basically. And they've shown that again when they obviously come into the party here and was telling him what he had to do. You're going to the tanks tomorrow. It's a bad idea. No, you are going. We've said it, you're going. And like I said, mate, the Duchess is there as well. And she's just kind of hinted that she knew something was going to go down with that Sapphire. And it did. And it's definitely shocking because even though she's been taken out, the MPs, the father, the father, he told Tommy as well, mate, to go home, look underneath your son's pillow. We've left him a gift, and it's a card with his name on it saying R.I.P. and it's a crematorium thing. So again, mate, threatening the Shelbys, which I think is really interesting because regardless of how big Tommy gets, he's always someone bigger than him, and it's always good to see that somebody can come actually after him and he can make an impact. So I can't wait to find out if Grace is dead or alive in the next episode. Thanks for checking out the video today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you do, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.